Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. I am so thrilled to have you here. Over here at PiSeas Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift, and good evening to my international family. Most importantly, what's up to all of my people who are watching behind the scenes on TikTok today? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are new to the PiSeas Tarot experience, go ahead and drop a star in the chat. If you are a returning guest, go ahead and add a fish. We want to be able to recognize and to appreciate all of our new first timers that are here. Welcome, 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 and welcome. Today's agenda consists of a brief energy cleanse, which is a sound meditation and breath work, followed by a divine insight, which is a earworm that I have for y'all today. We have a quick overall energy reading of what is going on with this reading overall, and I will verify everything that I told you utilizing the tarot cards and close out with some final thoughts and possible outcomes. Now listen, if y'all are ready to get into this energy cleansing, okay, it is so important because I know y'all been up all night. Some of y'all done been to the club last night. You're still coming home smelling like that yicky. And some of y'all been at work. Okay, some of y'all been at work. So we need to level set because we know that these people done got on your nerves and everything else. So if y'all ready to get into this reading, go ahead and find the little scrub brushes, your vacuums, your brooms, whatever your favorite utensil is for you to be able to clean. For me, it's the scrub daddy because I like the ch. All right. So if y'all ready, go ahead and put them scrub brushes up in the chat and let's get ready to get into this reading, shall we? Here we go. All right, before we move forward, it is so important that we take a minute to level set and just ground ourselves. And a simple way of us doing this is by cleansing our energy, y'all, which is so important because it puts us in a position to receive. We can do this in the most simplest ways by just cleansing our energy through breath work and sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to take in 3 deep breaths. We're going to inhale, hold it, and exhale. Okay, so with each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance, and with each exhale, we want to release any tensions or distractions. Okay, we want to do that 3 times. All right, so here we go, y'all. Yes. Listen, I don't know about you, but I love doing breath work, child. When you do that breath work, you start to feel, it gives you like a feeling that is indescribable. Now, listen, y'all. Y'all know how my girl Moo was always acting stingy, right? So we got us Bam Bam now, okay? Moo wanted to cut up, so now we got Bam Bam, all right? So let's go ahead and let's clear up this stagnant energy and release it, bringing us into alignment with presence and being one, all right? Being centered, okay? So everybody, this is Bam Bam. Okay, we got Moo now. Bam Bam about to get us right, all right? So if y'all ready, here we go. Big difference, right? Yes, yes. Infinite Spirit, you are welcome here. We call you in, Divine White Light, to show us clear and precise messages to be for those that are here today and for those who will watch us in the future. You are so welcomed here. We thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for the harm of none and for the benefit of all. Just release your magical insights to us and to give us some knowledge and guidance on what is going on. Amen, 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 amen. All right, y'all ready to get into this? Let's get ready for a fun and safe interaction, y'all. Remember, this is a safe place. Ain't nobody judging you. We all been a fool in love, and today just may be your turn, baby. So if y'all ready to have an honest, transparent conversation, let's get ready for an engaging and dynamic time. If y'all ready to do this, because I'm ready to cook, I need you to find those cooking emojis, those cooking emojis, those cooking emojis. Because, baby, when I tell you, I feel like we owning something this morning. I know I say that every day, but I'm pretty sure we on to it now, baby. So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those scrambled egg emotions, scrambled egg emojis, and let's go ahead and get into this reading, shall we? Here we go. All right, y'all. So each day I take a moment to reflect upon the immediate energies that Spirit is showing me. And sometimes it comes through a divine earworm, and sometimes it comes from a divine download. And today I have an earworm, ladies and gentlemen. I have an earworm for you, okay? Now, this record, let me tell you, this particular artist is so unproblematic and fun and very creative and very much so an artist, which is hard to put on the label on a lot of entertainers now, because they call themselves artists and they really not artists. You know, an artist has an appreciation for art, my opinion. And not saying that music is not a form of art, but what I'm saying is this person embodies the holistic nature of what it means to be an artist. They're very thoughtful, very meticulous around not only the sound, the wording, the music, the look, the image, the visuals, i.e. videos. Everything that they do is such a statement, and it is creative, okay? So this particular person that we're talking about now, and I didn't realize that this was another Raphael Sadiq, okay? This is another Raphael Sadiq record, okay? But the artist is Solange Knowles, aka Beyonce's little sister, okay? And this was written by she and Raphael Sadiq and a person named Radio. And the song is called Cranes in the Sky. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of times we be going through some things, right? Don't y'all been there before? Raise your hand in the chat if you've been going through some things. And you thought that when you was going through some things, you thought that you could just do whatever you could do to get it to go away. And whatever it was that you was trying to avoid, it ain't going nowhere, okay? It ain't going nowhere, all right? So she said, I tried to drink it away. I put one in the air, tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away. I tried to change it with my hair. I ran my credit card bill up, thought a new dress would make me feel better. I tried to work it away, but that just made me feel sadder. I tried to keep myself busy. I ran around in circles, think I made myself dizzy. I slept it away. I sexed it away. I read it away. And so she's saying away, 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 away. Okay, and so she's saying, well, it's like cranes in the sky. Sometimes I don't want to feel those mental clouds. Okay, mental clouds. Now, some of y'all are over here like, Mimi, what in the world is she talking about? Now, it is what I said it is. There is a level of mental clouds that are present that somebody is trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid the inevitable. They are trying to avoid dealing with the mental agony and baggage of whatever has happened. They're trying to conceal it, trying to hide it, trying to avoid it, trying to ignore it, trying to do whatever they could possibly do to get whatever this is out of the, exactly, trying to distract themselves, right? And the reality is, guess what, y'all? Guess what? no matter what they do, it's sitting right there waiting on them. No matter what they do, it is sitting right there waiting on them, okay? So it doesn't matter what you saying. It doesn't matter what you over here think you doing. It's waiting right here for you. So if y'all are ready to get into this reading for today, I need you to find those coffee cups, those tea kettles, those wine glasses, those water bottles, whatever beverage that you're looking for. Find those emojis and put them down in the chat, because it is time for us to get into this energy reading. Because baby, when I tell you, I want to know who's trying to avoid it. They said, I tried to drink it away. I tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away. I tried to change it with my hair. I ran my credit card bill up. Thought a new dress would make it feel better. I tried to work it away, but that just made me feel sadder. I tried to keep myself busy. I ran around in circles, think I made myself dizzy. I slept it away. I sexed it away. I read it away. It's like cranes in the sky. Sometimes I don't want to feel those mental clouds. Okay? If y'all ready, baby, let's get into this energy reading, because honey, I want to know who is over here dealing with mental agony. All right? Here we go. When understanding energy, it's important to know the universe speaks to us in abundant ways. And so today, we need to figure out what the overall energy is for this reading. Now, clear and precise messages as I ask Spirit. The overall energy reading for here is wishing upon a star. Wishing upon a star. And a lot of times when I see this card, it always draws me back to like healing that inner childhood wound, right? That inner child who is young and naive in the world. That person who is needing that guidance and that protection. The one who's looking towards their faith and having some type of illumination and looking for some type of compassion. You know, whenever I think about this card, I always think about, again, I keep going back to how when you're young and you're a little kid, how you're naive, how you are just so unaware and oblivious, and how you have no fears in life, right? And it definitely feels as though this particular person is needing to go back to revisit some of that old childhood person, right? The little person in you that wants to feel safe, that wants to feel heard, that wants to feel loved, that wants to feel admired, respected, catered to, right? The innocence of a child, and that wishing and optimism that nothing is ever going to change. Like y'all know what it is with little kids. They are fearless, okay? They are absolutely fearless. And so this is going back to that healing energy of the heart. All right, the matters that are of the heart that belongs to the kids. And when I tell you like those childhood wounds, I can go on and on and on about them, because they do affect you as an adult. And I don't care what nobody say. No one's ever going to be the perfect parent. Everybody's got some type of childhood wound, right? All you can do is educate yourself on what that does to a child's self-esteem, and just try to prepare yourself to be a better parent, right? And to make sure that you build those relationships with your children. Right? It's more to being a parent than just putting a roof over their head, keeping them out of jail and off the pole. It is so much more life than that. And depending on who you are, you may have gotten that version of a parent, depending on how old you are. Because we definitely had some parents. There was a disconnect in parenting. Like, I'm not coming from nobody, because I will fall into that bucket of people who got degenerate parents, right? But and I say that respectfully. But the boomers and Gen X were not the best parents. You know, let's just be honest. They were not the best parents. They didn't talk about mental health. They didn't talk about love in ways that did not consume just, provision, right? In their mind, if you had a place to lay your head, food in your on the table, you was loved. They did their job. And the reality is, it is so much more to being a parent. You got to show up, right? You got to be responsible. You got to be responsive, right? There's things that you have to teach your children. And let's be clear, I'm a parent, so I can tell you, I get it. It ain't easy. There's moments when you want to be selfish. It's moments when you want to be bothered. There's moments where, my son is, okay, y'all know me. I talk loud naturally. This is me speaking in my natural voice. I get accused of yelling by people who don't know me all the time. I'm not yelling. I'm speaking how I speak, right? Y'all think I'm loud? My son is on 45. When he wake up in the morning, Mom, I'm like, bro, why you so loud? Right? But I had to realize that I have to stop telling him that, because that can be damaging to his self-esteem. So I just remind him, like, I'm sitting right here, son. Like, I heard you. Like, we're not 3 rooms apart. I hear you. So it's little things like that that can be, daunting for children, because it's like, this is who I am. And you're criticizing me on who I am naturally. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I'm just using it as a facetious example, but it still is irrelevant, right? Just like how you got parents who always criticize and critique your appearance, right? Parents who always make you feel less than because you inherited a gap in your teeth, or, you're growing and you look kind of funny. Kids go through that ugly stage. I'm sorry to say it. They come out cute as babies, and then they go through this ugly stage as they mature into who they're supposed to be, and they grow into their bodies. But when parents are always criticizing and critiquing the way that they look, right? That becomes damaging for their self-esteem overall. And then they start dealing with the spirit of judgment. And then they do things to overcompensate and undercompensate to heal that wound, okay? So this is something that you should not take lightly, okay? I'm saying all of that to say. And if you don't know what your wounds are, there's a book that I would be glad to recommend. I'm not being compensated to recommend this book, but I like to share this as insight and wisdom so that you, A, as an adult, can heal yourself, but B, you can also understand how to better deal with others when they deal with those wounds. So these are the wounds that I'm feeling like is coming up here with this wishing upon a star card this morning, okay? I say all that to say that. All right, now, what is the truth that we need to hear for our journey this morning? I mean, we have a whole lot of parents that did not get it right. I mean, seriously, especially if you are a member of the Black community, oh baby, there's a whole lot of parents that didn't get it right, and unfortunately that is a residual unintended consequence, or could have been intended consequence, of what happened to us when we first were brought to America. Okay, now the truth that you need to hear right now for your journey is blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Okay? Blame. I accept the responsibility for my well-being. And this goes back to what I was just referencing when we talked about the inner child wounds. You have to take responsibility for who you are and how you show up in the world. When people tell you you've done things that are offensive, or when you keep on hearing from people that behaviors that you do are offensive, you are responsible for that. Because once somebody brings it to your attention, baby, you are responsible for that. Okay? You are responsible for that. And other people are not responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your happiness. Okay? You can hold other people accountable for what they've done to you, but you cannot make them be responsible for how they felt, how you feel. You got to be responsible for that. If they've done something to offend you, it's okay for you to bring it to their attention. It's okay for you to acknowledge that they've done something that has been offensive, right? But it's not their responsibility to give a darn about how you felt about it. It's really not. It's really up for you to settle what that looks and feels like for you. And I know that that's a hard realization that most people don't want to admit and don't want to have to face, and I get it. Right? But you got to worry about your own healing for you. That's nobody else's responsibility to heal you. That is your responsibility. Now, if you were with somebody and they want to love you through and help you heal and make sure that you're no longer bothered by those things. That's the mutual effort. But you have to take the first step to heal yourself. That's a you problem. Okay? Now, guides of the hidden realms, what messages do you have for us today? Frozen for a moment in time. Now, this card came out yesterday. Non-action, slow down, not yet. So somebody needs to take a minute and just stop and pause and reflect and to think and to heal. Okay? You also may not be taking action right now, or you want to take action, but the time is not right now. Okay? The time is not right now. And honestly, what I'm picking up on, it's a time of healing. It's a time of healing. Okay? And let me just say this while we're here talking about a time of healing. Venus just went retrograde yesterday. Mercury is coming right behind it and is about to go in retrograde. Now is not the time for new relationships. Now is not the time to go back and dig that old thing out the recycling bin. Now is not the time. Anything you do from now until the middle of April is going to be a doozy. So if you want to avoid a lot of agony, now is the time for you to sit back and to heal. Venus is the planet of love. It is the relationship planet. It is the planet of beauty. It is the planet of pleasure. It's romance and sensuality. With that being in retrograde, baby, it is not the time for you to start anything new. And if you're in something right now, this may be one of those instances where that last little straw that break the camel's back really might end up getting to you and really might end up taking this relationship where it needs to be, which is in the garbage can. Okay? So I'm warning you, I'm telling you nicely while I can. Now is not the time for nothing new. This may be time for you to sit back and to reflect and to heal. Work on your healing. All right? Now, what is the undercurrent? What's going on here? What is the undercurrent of what's going on here? Giant clams. Find peace in the depths of your being and let the quiet strength of you or your inner sanctuary protect you. Yeah, I can't read today right now. Okay? But I'm going to read it again just so you can get it. Find peace in the depths of your being and let the quiet strength of your inner sanctuary protect you. Okay? This is a time for healing. I said that, but I'm repeating it. This is a time for healing. This is not the time to be out here doing some daredevil type of stuff, taking all these risks, even though we all take calculated risks all the time. Now is not the time, boo-boo kitties. Now is not the time, okay? Now, how is this showing up for us in our everyday lives here? How is this showing up for us? She said, I tried to drink it away. I tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away. I tried to change it with my hair. I ran my credit card bill up. Thought a new dress will make it better. I tried to work it away, but that just made me sadder. I tried to keep myself busy. I ran around in circles, think I made myself dizzy. I tried to sleep it away. I sexed it away. I read it away. Somebody is trying to avoid dealing with the inevitable. Okay? It definitely sounds like a tower moment coming, and they are over here. Can't nobody else lie to you better than you, boo-boo. Can't nobody else lie to you better than you. Again, this is a time for healing. It's time for you to clean up what's going on in your life. Sweep up around your own front porch. Get your life in order. Okay? This is dealing with you healing. This is dealing with you healing. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. I know y'all like, what? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, this has to do with somebody healing. Okay? You've been avoiding it, And it's telling you that this is the inevitable. It is time for you to face. It's time for you to face the music. I know you don't want to, but you got to do it. You got to do it, boo. You got to do it, okay? So, what is the soul whisper? What is the soul whisper for today's reading? Soul whisper. Listen, how ironic. We got a seashell. So the last one we got the clam, now we got the seashell. This is about you listening. Okay, this is about you listening. I wouldn't be surprised if this has something to do with the water sign. And the reason why I'm saying it is because we are in Pisces season, but also we do have several planets that are still within the sign of Pisces right now. Ironically, the moon just went into Aries, even though it's a new moon. And it's interesting, y'all. I gotta say this because I have a stellium in Pisces, but the sun is in Pisces. Duh. The moon is in Aries, which it was when I was born. I was born on a new moon. Mercury is also in Pisces right now. Okay. Yeah. That's the rest of the chart ain't mine, but I do find it interesting. We still have Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, as well as the node is in Pisces, okay, in retrograde. So that's that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the person that we're talking about in this reading is a water sign or either has heavy water placements, because those individuals are being most affected now with these planetary alignments. But I just want to call that out, okay? Listen. The word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. Alfred Bringdale. Many people claim to be good listeners, but yet fail to listen. Why can't I read this morning? This is Mercury retrograde going on. I'm telling you right now, communication. We're in a pre-shadow. All right, let me try this again. The word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. Many people claim to be good listeners, yet fail to possess the innate ability to really listen. People often take an active role in listening to one another, adding comments, remarks, opinions, and expressions of reflection of what they're hearing. True listening goes beyond that which can be heard with your ears. Listen for the subtle nuances. Consider the pauses, the thoughtful stares, the wistful gazes. Listen with your heart. Hear the words and allow them to evoke within you a response that gives rise to empathy and compassion. Allow others to feel that they are being heard. Suppress any urges that you have to comment or pass judgment. Allow the story to come forth. You unbothered, doggone it, by the lens of which you see the world. The more you listen, the more you'll learn. So this is about you being attentive, aware, being open, and willing. This is about you overcoming being closed off, obtuse, imperceptive, and narrow-minded. Okay, this is about you listening and hearing what somebody else has to say. And for some of y'all, the person, hey boo, some of y'all, the person that you need to be listening to is you. Now, I know that's what you don't want to talk about this morning, but this is dealing with the throat chakra. And this is about you realizing that the most important words are the ones that are unspoken. Okay? So there is definitely, as I said, there is a healing that is taking place right now. And I know that that's something that you don't want to do. You have been avoiding and been trying to pull it off. Listen, healing is never, how do you say this lightly? It's never a joyride going through healing. We throw that word around like it's a rite of passage. We throw that word around like it's a joyride. But the reality is, when you go through healing, it's ugly. When you go through healing, it's painful. Because you have to confront those things that you don't want to confront. And you just heard the lady say, what's she doing to try to avoid it? She said, sometimes I don't want to feel those mental clouds. but they're there. You can ignore them all you want to. They there. All right. So let's get into this. Let's start to obtain more personal insights and shift our energies to the potential parties that are involved. Please remember to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't, y'all. Definitely don't overlook a message without considering your placements as we talk about it. And I do read for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Okay, guys? All right. So let's get ready to get into it. Intuition. The red flags that you ignore now will come back to bite you later. Somebody has been ignoring their intuition. Somebody has been ignoring their intuition. They have been trying to overlook those red flags that's been slapping them all in the face. Pretending they didn't see what they saw. They didn't feel what they felt. They didn't hear what they, you know how it goes. What is the T? Really? Well, I'm curious. What was that that came flying out? Ugh. Too busy winning, fell out. All right, let's see. Okay. Ooh, I like this card. We ain't seen this card in a long time. Boss Daddy. Somebody is stable, rich, a business owner, a CEO coming with BDE. We got the Boss Daddy. Somebody. What was his name when we met him some months ago? What was his name? Calvin. What was it? What's his name? Calvin. We had Earl. I think his name was Calvin. Yeah. Something like that. But we got somebody who's a business owner. Okay. They running their own business. They got BDE going on. If you don't know what that is, I can't help you with that. You're going to have to Google what is BDE. Okay. But they got that going on, all right? Now, what's the news? What's the news? That's definitely somebody who's busy all the time. Somebody who will be constantly distracting themselves. Always have things going on, okay? So it's easy for them to keep themselves aloof, right? Because they always got something going on. This person's always on the phone, always answering emails, always... something's always requiring their immediate attention, okay? So this person definitely got it going on. Numbing, self-medicating, addictions, irrational behavior, okay? That goes back to the avoidance that I was referencing, okay? Somebody in this connection avoids themselves. They're numbing, they're addicted to stuff, they have irrational behavior, i.e. running up your credit card, trying to do retail therapy is a form of numbing. And it is a coping mechanism. Whether or not you want to admit it or not, it ain't right. But that's what somebody's doing. What lies beneath all of this? Putting on a show fell out. Okay. Trying to prove a point. All right, here we go. Destroyed, shattered, broken, effed up. Somebody is messed up. Whatever happened here, this situation has been messed up. It is no longer it's no longer a thing. It's broken. It's messed up. Okay? I'm not going to repeat what the card says, but y'all can read. All right? Some of y'all might not be able to read, but y'all know how to read that. Okay? And I'm not trying to say that to be funny. I'm saying that to be factual. All right. True emotion. True emotion. This is definitely a defense mechanism. Okay. I don't know who it is. We got to figure out here in a second who exactly it is. I'm just pulling the energy right now. Somebody was rejected. Okay. Somebody was rejected. Which goes back to that inner childhood wound. Rejection and abandonment is a childhood wound that people deal with today. And you see it when you deal with people because they have this inflated sense of self-importance that ain't true. They always trying to, you know, bully themselves. We can all think of somebody that's like that right now. I ain't gonna say no names. But you know, okay, this is about feelings. This is about feelings, okay? Feelings. And let me add to this that a lot of times when people have dealt with childhood traumas like this, they legitimately don't know how to process and deal with their feelings or their emotions effectively. Because all they know is to hide. That's the scared little boy or little girl that's in them that is still operating within its adult body today. Okay? So I'm telling you, that this shows up in a plethora of ways. Okay? This shows up in a plethora of ways. And this is a very problematic situation here. Okay? When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? She said, it's like cranes in the sky. Sometimes I don't want to feel those mental clouds. I mean, hey, most of us are in a space where we don't want to deal with stuff. But sometimes things keep coming up. I put it to you this way. Either you're going to deal with your problems or your problems going to come to deal with you. Double life. This person is a liar, deceptive, and in another relationship. Somebody is living a double life here. Okay? They are lying. They are deceptive. They are possibly in a relationship with somebody else. So enters third party into the group chat. When I just said that, why I just heard me and you, your mama and your cousin too. Okay. So maybe it's a family dispute that's a third party. I don't know. But there is definitely a third party. But it says in another relationship. So I don't think it's a relational in that regard. I think it's a chosen, preferred thing. Okay. What is the true crime here? What is the true crime here? Look, abuse and neglect is here, upside down. But remember, I told you this person deals with childhood traumas. Somebody, one of y'all in this connection is dealing with childhood traumas, which we were talking about yesterday. Honestly. Really? Okay, wooded area fell out. Aliens. This person is having an outer body experience. The person who's dealing with the needing to heal, you know, it's hard to really say this in a high level way if this is not what you follow closely. But sometimes when you deal with people, you can kind of, depending on how your level of deep and spiritual woke you are, you can know, you feel when you're out of your body. You feel when things feel out of place. You feel when you're off balance, like your chakras are out of alignment. You need to go and get grounded. You feel it, okay? And I definitely feel like this person is oblivious to the fact that they're out of their body. They feel like They know something's not right, but it feels like they're trying to persevere through despite, like, they keep thinking they can go on vacation. Like, this is a vacation. This is not a vacation. This is not something that you can just go do for a couple of days and resume. Like, there is a mental stoppage that is happening. There is a blockage that is here. There is a mental cloud that needs to be processed. And it's like a train going out of control and it's on the brink of derailing. This is about to be catastrophic. Whatever it is that is going on within this person that they have been avoiding all this time, it is coming for. Look, and here go the healing card. It is coming for them. I was going to keep that card and something said go to the next, or Spirit said rather, go to the next card. This is about healing. Okay, this is about healing, which is all that we have been talking about this whole entire time. Okay? What is the influential energy here? What is the yin and the yang? I ran my credit card bill up. Thought a new dress would make it better. I tried to work it away, but that just made me feel sadder. I tried to keep myself busy. Ran myself around in circles. Think I made myself dizzy. I tried to sleep it away. I tried to sex it away. Self-love, intentions, focus on desires of the heart, self-worth, expansion, manifesting. Okay? This is about the self-love. All right? This person may not have been focused on themselves like they should be focused on themselves, okay? I'm being directed to pull from two other cards, two other decks. What is it that you want me to know from here? What is it that you want me to know from here? What is it that you want me to know from here? Crossroads. This person is at a crossroad in their life. They're trying to make decisions. Don't know if they're going or coming. Trying to be prepared. Trying to be forward thinking. Overthinking. This person is definitely overthinking right now. This person is trying their best to try to... They're trying to be very thoughtful. This person is a strategist, okay? Obviously so. This person has their own business. They got to be forward thinking, right? They have to be a strategist of some sort. But the reality is that they're overthinking, which is a weakness because they're operating out of fear. Not only are they overthinking, but they're not thinking about the right things. They're not focused on the right things right now, okay? Okay. Winding path, curving trail, twisting route, meandering passage, okay? This person is delayed. And we already talked about this whole thing about being frozen in time. So this person is being resentful about having to make a decision. They're trying to play games. They're trying, again, it's the avoidance. They're trying to do any and everything to try to distract themselves from focusing on the things that they need to be focusing on right now at this time. They are at a crossroads, okay? What is blocking this relationship from growing and thriving? What is blocking this relationship? Love is a foreign emotion to this person. Love is a foreign emotion to this person, okay? They've never had a loving environment. They didn't grow up in a loving environment. They never saw love from their parents. This person was absolutely a latchkey kid. This person was one of those kids that parents were always gone somewhere else, gone to work, left this person to fend for themselves a lot. which has bore within them their work ethic. Okay, insecurities. Work on building your confidence and feel safe in your relationship. So this person is definitely feeling insecure. The fact that you are tapping in, you're triggering them and they don't even know what's happening. You or them are being triggered, okay? Spirit, is there love here or not? And why is this card here? We got all these cards that's over here that don't belong here. Why are these cards here? What? This is crazy. Oh, that's the cards I'm looking for. Look, I done got confused by the cards that's here because I'm seeing all kind of stuff up in here that don't belong here. Who did that? Father. All right. I don't know what this is, but I'm not even going to look at them because they ain't got nothing to do with this. I just happen to be shuffling and I'm like, why my cards feel funny? All right, Spirit. Is there any love here between this person and the other person? Is there any love here? What does this relationship look like? Another card that don't belong there. I rely on you on so many levels. So somebody feels like this person is like-minded. Somebody in this relationship feels like-minded, but it's a friendship. It's not really a romantic relationship. Now, I know a lot of y'all be like, Mimi, why do you say that? You make that sound, make it seem like somebody is not loving somebody or whatever. But let's be honest. A lot of people are in relationships with people that they don't really have long-term dreams or ambitions for. They have no intentions on marrying you. They don't want to be with you in the long term. And that's a conversation we need to have. We need to stop pretending that everybody that's smiling in our face and spending time with us wants to be with us in the long term, because they don't. The reality is they don't. The reality is you have men and women who spend time with people just because they like them or they like what they can do for them and they don't want to be alone. That's the conversation that y'all don't want to have. And that's the conversation that we need to have. Because a lot of people are space holders for other people in someone else's life. And y'all don't want to admit the truth. Y'all think y'all so good. Y'all think you irresistible. You think that don't nobody else want to leave you, whatever. You know the lies that you tell yourself. Okay? You know the lies that you tell yourself. But let me let you know right here, right now, that there's a lot of people that are in situationships with people, and the other person really don't feel the way that you think that they feel about you.
Oh my God.
And that person could be you not feeling that way about them. You understand? All right, so person A. Person A is definitely going through a healing. Okay, they're going through a spiritual healing. I do feel like they're spending a lot of time numbing themselves. They're self-medicating. They have addictions and or irrational behavior. I do feel like they need to work on improving their self-love. They need to set their intentions for love and to receive love. They're focused on the desires of the heart, which goes back to this wishing upon a star. Self-worth, expansion, and manifesting. This person needs to work on their insecurities. Okay? They need to work on building confidence and feeling safe within their relationship, including themselves, okay? Last but not least, I do feel like this person could be having this outer body experience. I do feel that way, okay? They are having this outer body experience in which they feel foreign to themselves, okay? They feel foreign to themselves. That's what I'm picking up when we look at this alien card. That's exactly what I'm picking up. Now, person B, boss daddy, stable, rich, CEO, BDE, okay, going on, all right? But because this person got their skit together, this person is living a double life. They are a liar. They're deceptive. They're in another relationship, okay? This is, destroying, shattered, broken, and messed up, and by every accord, okay? I do feel like this person may have some feelings involved here for you, okay? But I do feel like the feelings that are there are just there for trauma bond reasons, right? I do think that if we're being honest, if you were using your intuition, you could have possibly avoided this. I do feel like there's going to be a decision point being made, and that we are. Thank you for my super chat, Michael. I appreciate it. Thank you. I so appreciate that. That is so amazing. And I do feel like we have here, we have that, they're at a crossroads and somebody's on a winding path, right? Somebody is on this winding path where they're like, I don't know how to get out of this. Okay, I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to break free from this. I feel like I'm just walking around in circles. Okay, so if y'all are ready to get into this reading, I need for y'all to go ahead and find those magnifying glasses. Go ahead and find those magnifying glasses. Put those magnifying glasses up in the chat, because baby, I'm ready to figure out what is going on here. Who is dealing with these mental clouds? Who is trying to avoid the inevitable? Who is trying to pretend like they not hurt when they are hurt? Remember, we listen, we don't judge, but we sure finna get messy. We finna get nosy. All right, so if y'all ready to know whose business is this, okay, I need y'all to put up those magnifying glasses, and here we go. It's so dramatic. It is so dramatic. All right. My eyes are doing something funny this morning, y'all. Like, my eyes is like super like watery-ish. Something like that. I don't know. So if you see me over here making faces, that's what that's about. All right. Whose business is this, Spirit? And I can't make up my mind if I'm hot or cold. All right. Person A, you are coming in as a... This is funny. Okay, this is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But the reason why I said that this is funny is because I mentioned being like a child and being naive and being impulsive. Remember, I talked about that earlier in the reading? So you're coming in, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air signs. You are coming in as the Fool card in reverse. If you or your person has air sign placements, can you go ahead and put in the chat for me the air sign, okay? If you are a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, I need for you to go ahead and put for me in the chat a air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you or your person is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you're coming in as person A, holding back, indecision, hesitation, recklessness, fearlessness, bad choices, and risk-taking, which is a perfect summation of what I was saying earlier that was happening here with this inner child. You know, I said that earlier, that I felt like that energy was coming up, okay? Now, person B in this could be a earth sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius dealing with the earth sign. If you are a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and or you are dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, can you put an earth sign or your Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn signs in the chat? This is about the World card, okay? Completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and feeling as though you have arrived, okay? So this is a very, very interesting energy this morning, okay? Very, very interesting energy. But I will say with persons B energy, their energy feels very masculine. I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels very masculine. But I also feel like this person has this sense of entitlement about being where they are. Like, this person, I'm not gonna lie to you, this person feels very arrogant to me. And not that they don't deserve to be arrogant, but it goes back to that inflated sense of ego that I've referenced earlier, okay? All right, y'all, if y'all ready to get into this and figure out what in the world is really truly going on here, I need you to put those coffee cups in the chat, put those coffee cups in the chat, teas in the chat, whatever it is that you got going on, put it up in the chat, because baby, it is time for us to get into this reading. I'm going to need a little bit more coffee for this. One of my TikTokers said, I probably need to drink some more water. You're probably right. Listen, y'all, listen. I'm ready to get into this. I want to find out what in the world is going on with this situation because this is kind of crazy. All right. Here we go, y'all. And this morning we're going to pull from these big A cards again. All right. So we got somebody trying to avoid mental clouds. Somebody feeling like they need to do something to like try to avoid it. Okay. What is going on with my earth and air signs? Earth and air signs. We haven't done a reading on this dynamic in a long time. I'll tell you that. All right, here we go. Earth and air signs. All right. Person A, you are coming in as the 10 of Pentacles, okay? Upright. Oh, that was tough. Okay. First thing I heard is you're dealing with a false sense of security. This is a false sense of security, and here's why it's a false sense of security. Even though you have everything that you ever wanted and ever needed in life, you are putting all of your coins or your eggs in a basket that is really not, it doesn't mean anything, okay? You've put all your focus and your effort and your energy in on being materially sound, being happy, being satisfied, having all of these possessions and all of those different things like that. But the problem is, if you really think about it, it's just stuff. Right? It's just stuff. You think about it, not to make this morbid and not to go dark, but let's take it there. When a person passes away in this lifetime, they don't take a house, a car, a credit score, Louboutins, handbags. They don't take a passport. You take nothing with you when you leave this earth, right? It has been said that when a person is transitioning, the brain is active for 7 minutes during that period of transition. And at that time, one goes through all of the good, positive moments in life. The things that really made your heart smile, your memory, your brain starts to play back those moments as you travel down the tunnel, wherever you're going to go, whether it's towards the light or towards the pit, right? We don't really know. But those who have had near-death experiences say that they travel down a tunnel that is long, and they have spoken to the fact that it is a tunnel full of light. And then you have some people who have also said they went down the tunnel and then they went down. Okay, so they went up and then they went pew, and they said it was a quick, short distance, and boom, they fell, right? And they was in the tunnel. They was in the underworld, right? So I'm saying that to say, depending on what your belief is, the point is that you have been numbing yourself with all of this material things that have nothing to do with you as a person. And I'm going to venture to say that person A has feminine energy, okay? And what I'm also going to venture to say is when you look at this person as a woman, there are key things that are missing from this person as a woman, right? So you can have all the material things. You can have the house, you can have the cars, you can have the furniture, you can have the following, you can have whatever it is that you want. But I feel like there's a disconnect between the physical aspects of you and the mental aspects of you, the intangibles, right? The things that cannot be touched and felt. But the things like you might be rude, you might be nasty, you might not have a good personality. People don't really like you like that. You know, that type of thing, right? And so that's where I come to the conclusion of this being a false confidence, a false sense of security, because you got the Fool card in reverse as your foundational energy, talking about you holding back, talking about there being recklessness and bad choices, and you doing a lot of risk taking. You doing a lot of things to overcompensate for the fact that you deal with distrust. You've been hurt before in your lifetime. You deal with a lot of insecurities, going back to the inner child conversation that we had in the beginning of this reading. This is a time for you to be working on your healing, okay? But you don't even recognize that you need to be really focused on your healing because you're numbing yourself. You're putting the blame on everybody else who hurt you. Have you ever met a person where every time they talk about something that happened, it's always somebody else's fault, but they never take accountability for what they did? Just raise your hand. If you ever been there before, just raise your hand. Because it definitely feels like this person is always blaming other people, but really they need to look in the man in the mirror. Okay, which is them. All right. Now, person B is coming in right now as the King of Pentacles, as you should. We already talked about this person being boss daddy, BDE, CEO, got their stuff together. Okay, absolutely. This person knows exactly what they want out of life. They're accomplished. We know that with their foundational energy with this World card here. Okay. Both of y'all are coming in with major arcana. Let's start off talking about that. Both of y'all are going through major life changes, major life things, right? One of y'all is at the beginning of your spiritual journey with that cycle. The other one is y'all is at the end. Okay. Which automatically brings an immediate imbalance. You got somebody being so immature and you got this person being very mature, right? So this person B, this may be a power play. And the reason why I say it may be a power play is while person B is very attractive to person A, because they like security, like they like that false sense of security. So it's the things that person B can do for person A. But person B is not really taking into consideration person A thoroughly because they don't meet the vision for what they have. When you think about a boss, okay, a boss, sometimes depending on who they are and depending on how they were raised and depending on like what their values and their morals are, sometimes they like underaccomplished people because they need that type of support. Like both of y'all can't be bosses, both of y'all can't be professionals, because it becomes a power dynamic and it becomes a power struggle, right? But also when you have a person who's less accomplished, that equally can become a power struggle, right? So for me, it feels like there is something here that this person likes, but oh my God. Okay. All right, Spirit. I got it. Listen, I want to say this gently because I know that somebody's going to be offended, but I got to tell it to you how it came to me. Person A, you are nothing more than a bona fide side chick.
Goodbye.
This person is married. That's where that third party person is entering the chat. They are married. Okay? They just like having fun with you. Which goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of this reading, or before we even started getting to this point. I said it a couple minutes ago. A lot of people are in relationships with people that there's no intentionality behind it. There is no growth projection. There is no path forward. They just hanging out with you just because you something to do. And in your delusional and twisted mind, you think you have more importance than what you have. You just something to do. You are nothing more than a bona fide STD, something to do. Okay? And so I feel like for this King of Pentacles, which is person B, they are here because it's a source of entertainment for them. They're focused on running a business. They have so much pressure in their everyday life that they want a release. They want an outlet. They want something to do. So for them, knocking off old girl around the block that don't really have any real requirements is something simple for them. It's nothing to them.
Another one.
Okay? It's just something for them to do. Unfortunately, their games are very dangerous because it leaves people feeling emotionally attached and feel emotionally drawn to a person that they can't ever act upon. Like, it's never going to go anywhere. The relationship is never going to grow. It's never going to thrive. It's never going to become anything else more than what it is, right? It is what it is, okay? And so it feels like when we talk about the mental clouds, right? I feel like there may have been, if not already, we will find out here momentarily, but I do feel like person A may have some indicators that this person is married and or has somebody else that they're really involved with, which is why we're coming into this crane in the sky. I tried to drink it away. I tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away. I tried to change it with my hair. I ran my credit card bill up, thought a new dress would make me feel better, tried to work it away. But that's why you have this person trying to distract themselves. Person A is really disappointed by this. And the question is why? Like, I mean, I get why, but my question is still, why are you so disappointed by this? So I have to ask this question. If you feel like you're being represented here in this storyline, can you tell me what is influencing your life? What are you feeling right now, most importantly? Are you feeling like you have this false sense of security? Or do you feel like boss daddy over here? You know, like, I got my stuff together. I'm just looking for something fun. I'm here for a short time, not a long time. I want you to write down in the chat, if you feel like this is reflective of where you are in your relationship, just tell me how this is making you feel right now. Now, let's be honest. If you are experiencing this, how do you feel like this power dynamic is going to play out in your relationships? I want you to write that down in the chat for me as well, okay? Now, what is favorable about this situation is, listen. What is favorable about this situation is that neither one of y'all really wants to walk away from this. It's something that is fun. It's something that's enjoyable. It is something that gives you comfort, you know? But this is where we feel frozen for a moment of time. Non-action, slow down, not yet. I feel strongly that spirit is calling you to really sit in this right now. Sit in this and process what this looks and feels like for you. And I'm not going to lie to you. As I said, sit in this, I started to feel chills come over my body. So not only is there a coldness here, but I'm also feeling anxiety. I'm feeling sadness. I'm feeling the depressiveness. I am feeling the anxiousness. I am starting to feel the feelings of despair. I am feeling the confusion. I am definitely feeling, like I'm feeling all of those things, right? I definitely feel like there is a sense of feeling confused and perplexed because I feel like there was such an investment made here for this person coming into this relationship that it's a confusion, right? It's like, I'm sorry, what now? And I feel like this is something that caught person A off guard. I feel like person A really thought that they were winning. I feel like they thought that for the first time in their lives, they found someone or somebody who was really on their level, their playing field, that really was invested and wanted the same things that they wanted. It definitely feels like this is a person who may have struggled with finding somebody else that was really checking all of the boxes before. So whereas they had like this sense of gratitude and gratefulness and all of that, now it feels like this is not what I signed up for. And what Spirit is trying to get you, person A, to do is to sit in this and to feel this so that you can process what is happening to you. Because this feels very repetitive. This feels like a secular cycle for you. It feels like this is a pattern of constantly being in these low vibrational states of relationships, which make you feel insecure, make you feel inadequate, make you feel unlovable, impermanent, right? And so it feels like this is where your attention needs to be focused on this. But for person B, it feels like you cool enough to kick it. You cool enough to kick it. I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Let's just respect it for what it is and enjoy each other's company. And it's unfortunate because person B is undermining the damage that they're doing to person A. They don't see it as being a big deal, but baby, it is a big deal. Not only is it a big deal to this person, but it's a big deal to the person that you're married to as well. Okay? So this person has a habit of doing this. But this is where, you know, I'm just going to say we as women, we compromise this when we tend to go after men who have financial stability and men who have financial power. Like that's the compromise usually, is knowing that you're going to be not the only woman, that you're going to be dealing with other women. And so it's very damaging. I'm not gonna hold you. Okay, it's very damaging. So with that being said, is there anything positive? And I'm asking you, is there anything positive that you feel is coming out of this by you not walking away from this situation? I mean, we ain't judging. Just write it down in the chat. Ain't nobody judging you. Now, the consequence is here. This person is not who they seem to be. Okay? This person is not who he said he is. He is emotionally immature. He's emotionally manipulative. It's a power play. It's a power play. You know, so you up here, you crying, you all upset, and this person go,
"It's all right, mama."
What's all right? What is all right? What is all right about this? The fact that I'm humiliated, the fact that I feel disrespected, the fact that I feel let down, the fact that I feel betrayed, that's okay to you? But this is why I said you got to be careful about what you use to give you a false sense of security. Okay, this person can send you on a trip. Is he going with you on a vacation? Or if he goes on a vacation, every couple of hours, he's stepping out the room to go make a phone call, to go call his wife and his kids. It's not okay. Okay, he can pay for your new car. He can pay for your mortgage. It's not okay. Are you that cheap that you can be bought? And I got to ask that question. And I know that is a harsh way of asking that question, but I want you to think about this holistically and completely. How much are you worth that you can be bought with a car note or a mortgage payment? You understand? Now, as you understand that this person is emotionally manipulative, this person is a liar, okay? They are deceptive. They do have another relationship. This is exposing you to all of the things that are within you that are bubbling up, that is holding you back from really moving forward. And I know it's difficult to admit it because when you sit there, see, this is where the numbing comes from. This is where the failure to acknowledge that there are things going on and you trying to avoid those mental clouds, you know, the cranes in the sky that we talked about. This is where you're trying to avoid that. And this is where you need to tap into your healing. You need to stop numbing and you need to focus on self-love and setting your attentions on being resolute about working through these things. Don't allow somebody else to come in and be able to manipulate you in that way. Don't be easily manipulative because you're insecure. When you operate from a place of insecurity, that's what you're going to be met with, other low vibrational things. Okay? It's time for you to work on yourself.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
What this is trying to teach you is stop acting like you're clueless, dumbfounded, astounded, stuck, can't make a decision. You know what you got to do. You've been knowing for quite some time. Stop acting like you shot. And see, that's the part that's so funny about all of this. Because it feels like every time you can't get your way, you want to come throw this up in somebody else's face. You want to throw it up in their face. The reality is, the moment that you found out that this person was involved with somebody else, you accepted the terms and conditions. You consented to being in this. So stop bringing up the fact that they married every time you get upset. You know that they married. Stop bringing up the fact that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You knew that. You knew that. Right? Stop pretending as if this doesn't exist. It does exist. But you so lost, you out here like Alice in Wonderland, walking around acting like you don't see, hear, or feel nothing. And your intuition has been going off, talking to you the whole time about what's been going on. And you still decided to proceed forward, not even with caution. You still decided to move forward. And now somebody's supposed to have some empathy for you. Somebody's supposed to have some sympathy for you.
Survey said.
Unfortunately, you get what you get and you can't throw a fit. Okay? You cannot do that. It is what it is, okay? So let me ask you this. If you know that there's a decision that you have to make in your relationship, what is stopping you right now? What is stopping you right now? If you know that you need to make a decision to move on in your life, what is really stopping you right now? Because it definitely feels like, to me, you're compromising by settling, thinking that things are going to get better, and they're not.
Ain't many women's allow their husbands hoe to lay up in their house.
Okay? And that's exactly what and how it feels to me this morning, okay? Now, what this is trying to teach you, I'm sorry, what you need to do to heal. I misspoke. What do you need to do to heal? We got a lot of emotions on this board, okay? We got a lot of emotions on this board, baby. And it goes back to what I said in the very beginning of this reading. Spirit is trying to get your attention through this situation, because if you keep wondering why you keep getting in these situations with men who are emotionally and physically unavailable,
You've got mail.
it's because you're unavailable. And let's be clear, I used to hate that so much. When people will always say, well, what is it in you that's attracting these people? I used to hate that so bad when people would say that to me. And I'm like, what the F do you mean? What is it in me? Like, nothing. But let me show y'all this. And we talk about this a lot, okay? This is coming from the Inner Work of Relationship books, okay? But if you're wondering why you keep on finding yourself being in karmic relationships that are destructive, that are full of suffering and attacking and defending, okay? It's because of the insecurities, the violations, the inadequacy, the distrust, the loss, the overwhelming, and the judgment. When you are in unhealthy relationships, you are rooted in one of these 7 things. And then you wonder why you keep on attracting the same type of person. You keep on attracting them because you're not healing. You're not doing the work. And that's what Spirit is saying. It's not time for you to come across somebody that's going to love you for you and going to want to take you to the next level. All your angels keep telling you the same thing too. But you keep on ignoring it. Acting like you don't see nothing. You don't hear nothing. You hear no evil. You see no evil. Okay. You walking around here in your head in a fog, trying to numb yourself and acting like you don't feel nothing. Listen, you not Teflon. We are here on this earth to have feelings for a reason. Okay? And now we got the Queen of Pentacles here. This is about you're putting all of your value in the wrong things. I keep going back to that. You look how he's looking at this. And you look like how she's looking at this. He's looking at it like it ain't no big deal. She's looking at it like this is a treasure. You got the king and the queen on the board in 2 different placements. One looks like, what am I going to do with this today? The other one looks like this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Baby, it is time for you to stop focusing on the wrong things. Stop focusing on the wrong things. It's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to face the music. Now, here it is. Here it is. This is about heartbreak. There is a third party person here in this relationship. And I told you, it came out in the energy piece about this person being deceptive, but they are in a marriage with somebody else. You can't get mad. You can't be broken. You can't be shattered. You can't experience none of, well, let me not say that. Because you're entitled to your feelings and your emotions. However, these feelings are here because you refused to cut it off when you should have cut it off when you first came into the awareness that this person may not be who they say they are. When you came to the conclusion that this was too good to be true, why didn't you believe it then? So why you walking around here trying to blame somebody else for your heartbreak? Baby, you got to take responsibility for your own well-being. You broke your heart by proceeding to move forward with this person when they were showing you all the signs. They were showing you all the signs, but you was worried about getting your coins. Girl, he got a Maserati, girl. Girl, he got a Bentley. Baby, you can buy a Bentley for $35,000. So what does that mean? I mean, let's be clear. Let's not diminish one's success, but the point is you are easily impressed with things that don't matter, things that are minute, things that are uninspiring, uninfluential. He got a Range Rover. Everybody got a Range Rover. You can go down to the CarMax and buy a Range Rover for $400 a month. Like, y'all don't think about that, but it's the truth. You know? So, I mean, the point is that this particular person is easily influencing you to feel ways that speaks to the hurt in you. Okay? Speaks to the hurt in you. Now, it's time for you to let go of this feeling of being easily motivated and easily influenced by things that don't matter. Stop being easily impressed. That's the best thing I can tell you. Stop being easily impressed. You're easily impressed. You're easily influenced. You know? You're doing this to yourself because you don't want to process your mental clouds. I'm telling you, you got so much money to go buy a Louis Vuitton bag. Go invest in 6 counseling sessions. Go to therapy for 6 months. Now, you'll see a difference in your life. Promise you that. I promise you that. All right, so judgment. It's time for you to surrender. It's time for you to let go. Stop being focused on what other people think. The reality is, again, you're responsible for your own healing. You're responsible for your own healing. You're responsible for your own outcomes in life. We all got scars. We all got drama. We all got something going on with us. But when you release that and you be committed to working on you and better developing your self-love and setting your intentions on being a better person and get grounded. Stop operating outside of your body, just going through the flow of life. You are here. What's in you will come out of you. So therefore, as I say all the time, when you're full of skit, you're going to lead with skit. You're going to be easily impressed with skit because that's what's in you. But when you're healed and you're healthy and you're whole, guess what's in you? Healing and wholeness. Guess what's going to attract you? Healing and wholeness. Right? When you're clear and you're leading with clarity, you're going to attract clarity. So when you hear bullshit being said to you, that's a flag. You understand? Somebody say something to you, it's like pause, flag on the play. Thank you, Michael, for my super chat. I appreciate it. Flag on the play. You understand? Somebody over here talking crazy to you, you just be like, then they be like, I want to see you again.
Denied.
No. Why would I want to see you again? This relationship is going nowhere. You said it all. Okay? Now, I do feel like there is a sadness that is here, but there's also an unhealthy attachment which is here. Okay? I do feel like this is the energy of you not wanting to move on, but not being happy either. Like, why are you, I'm confused about why you are allowing emotional turmoil to exist here. I get what it's like to have somebody that you're attracted to, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, and they have everything that you've always dreamed about wanting and desiring. I know what that feels like. And I know how hard it is for you to put the pedal to the metal and put your emotional well-being and say, you know what, I can't stay here because this is unhealthy for me. It looks good, it feels good, but me staying here is just trash.
Get that garbage out of here.
It's not going nowhere. Okay? I understand what that looks and feels like, so I'm not judging you for holding on to it. But what I am judging you for is, why do you keep making yourself available to someone who has told you and has shown you on multiple occasions, this ain't going nowhere? It ain't going nowhere. I understand that it can hurt you and it can be disappointing. But until you resolve what's going on the inside of you, you can't manifest good things to come your way. Ooh, that's controversial and shocking. Just telling you the truth. All you're going to keep doing is bringing forth other half-baked things because you're half-baked. It's like trying to cook a cake and you ain't even got all the dang on ingredients. You still going to get a cake. Now, is it going to be a good one? I don't think so. But it's a cake, though. It just ain't sweet. Now, with this Four of Cups here being in reverse, I do feel like you're trying to act like you're disconnected from your feelings. You're trying to act like you're not bothered. And that's why I keep saying it's a weird avoidant attachment style. Like, you're trying to act like you're not bothered. You're trying to act like you're not hurt. You're trying to act like This is nothing. But the reality is, it is something. You feel hurt.
I'm in pain all the time.
You just don't want to admit it. Because every time you say something about how you're feeling on the inside, this incites an argument. Okay? Because now he's not lying to you. He told you he's married. He told you he's married. You know this man married, but you keep on keeping on with this person. So this is where you're at tug of war with yourself. Okay? You at tug of war with yourself. You're fighting what you know to do the right thing because you're trying to act like you're not hurt. Trying to act like you don't care. I go back to my statement of how much are you really worth? And now we got the Ace of Wands. Okay? It's not hard, folks. It's not hard. It's not compound. It's not complex. You are causing your own stagnicity because you fail to make a decision. And I'm asking you, what is so hard about leaving something alone that doesn't really benefit you? Period. You would never, let me tell you something. I don't know who the side chicks are in here because this is definitely a message for you if this is you. And I'm not trying to hit your park car unnecessarily. But let me say this. Stop sticking around places thinking when this person get this other person out the way, they're going to move you in place because they're not. They're not. It's very rare. It is very rare that this person is going to move their wife out the way and pick you.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Okay? They just gonna get them somebody else. And usually what happens is they get somebody else that don't allow them to play these games with them. Okay? So, this is going to require you to be strong. This is going to require you to have courage. Again, not only do you need to leave this person alone, but you also need to come into a place of where you're working on yourself, where you're working on your healing, where you're having the courage to overcome this adversity, this hardship, this hurt, this pain, because this pain that's in you is manifesting its ugly head in every relationship that you come into. And that's all the Spirit has been telling you. You got to go within to work and clean up your own house, clean up your own heart, your morals, your values, your belief, your inner sanctuary, the inner crevices of you. Because if you're not focusing on your healing, on your journey, you're only going to continue to repeat the same things over and over and over and over and over again. Right? And that's where you lose hope. You don't have the stability. You're not growing. You're not being progressive. You're losing hope. You're losing confidence. Joy. You have no desire. You have no aspirations. None of that stuff. Like you're just stuck in this mental cycle, dealing with these mental clouds that are not progressive. And a lot of times when y'all get into these spaces and into these places, you want top shelf results, but you got happy hour budget. You want champagne, but you got beer money. You understand? It's not working. All right? It's not working. And this is what Spirit is trying to tell you. The reason why you keep finding yourselves in these negative, low vibrational situations is because you got to work on your internal energy first. You got to clear up what's in you. Because what's in you is coming out. And like attracts like. And I know that we hate talking about that. And I know you probably like, well, what did I do to get here? Baby, sometimes it ain't nothing you did. Sometimes it's the things that happened to you. The things that you forgot about. that happened to you as a little girl or as a little boy. It's those memories that you try to push in the back of your mind because you don't want to revisit it. It's painful. It's hurtful. It's disgusting. It's the things you work so hard to forget about that you're trying to suppress. And what Spirit is telling you, suppression is not the answer. You got to deal with it.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
You need to stop loathing and process your grief. Understand your sadness and try to get past that level of disgust. You can do whatever you want to do to try to get it to move around, go away, leave you alone. You can get as high as the sky if you want to. You can get as drunk as a skunk if you want to. Them problems gonna be sitting right there waiting on you till you come back. Ow. They gonna be sitting right there waiting for you. And they gonna be sitting right there every time you try to push them away. They gonna be sitting right there waiting for you. Aww. I'm just telling you. So if y'all ready to find out what the closing energy is going to be, put those paper, pens, notebooks, whatever your choice of emoji is, it's time for us to take notes and see how this story is going to end, okay? All right, y'all. So when we talk about potential final thoughts, I say potential because I can't predict free will. Now that you get the information, you get to decide what you want to do or not do with it, right? And so I think it's important for us to really talk about this. And I want you to really think about this. If this message is resonating with you, please tell me, what is one habit or mindset shift that you plan to implement in your life today to help you evolve and to grow? No matter, I don't care if you person A, I don't care if you person B. What is one thing that you can do differently that's going to empower your growth today? What is the one thing that's going to empower your growth today? I want you to write that down in the chat. What's one simple thing that you can do? Whether that's hit the block button, whether that's to delete their contact. What is one simple mindset shift that you plan to do today that's going to enable your growth, okay? I love these cards. I think they're so creative, but my goodness, they don't ever want to shuffle. They're good card stock. Now listen, somebody, I know you bored. I don't know who this is. I just heard somebody's bored. Listen, baby, I'll be bored too. I'd be bored too. But I made a decision coming into 2025 that I was no longer going to be accessible to people who abuse their power and mistreat me. So I cleaned house. My phone's so dry, I can go 5 business days without my battery going dead. I don't even carry the phone most times. You contact me, shoot, you might not get a message back for about 8 hours. Because I'm not looking at the phone. I done occupied myself with other things that are elevating me. I'm reading books. I'm journaling. Exercise, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. I'm occupying my time in healthy ways. And when I tell you, I've even included people. Here go one for you. Friends that ain't your friends, you want to do not call list as well. Friends that don't show up for you, don't check in on you, don't ever invite you out, you want to do not call list too. Man, woman, and child, boys and girls, cats and dogs. You on that skit, you can get on up out of here. That's how I feel. I'm not doing this no more. And that's the type of energy that you got to have when it comes to these raggedy people in your life. Now, final outcomes. Now, We got the Six of Pentacles. This is about you giving and receiving positive energy. You got to start loving on yourself and treating yourself better. Being around people who are going to be willing to be fruitful and helpful on your journey. Give to those who are given to you. Give to those who are given to you. But stop misplacing your energy and being irresponsible with the things that God has given you. It's time for you to use your intuition. It's time for you to stop acting as if you don't know what's going on. The intuition is here. Stop ignoring. Stop pretending. Like these flags, 8 flags. When you see the flickering light, that's trying to get your attention. You know how you drive down the street and somebody maybe in oncoming traffic and they flashing their lights at you, and it's in the middle of daytime and you like, what the heck you flashing your lights for? And then you get further down the road and you see the police there. They was trying to tell you to slow down, the police down there. But you ignored them flashing lights. Now you pulled over on the side of the road with a speeding ticket. Oh. Okay? Oh.
Anything else?
You keep asking God to give you a sign. You keep asking all your spirit team, your archangels. You keep calling on everybody and them, Big Mama and them. And they keep showing you the signs and you keep on ignoring them. Now is that the time for you to ignore these signs. It is the time for you to sit down and to work on your healing. Stop ignoring the obvious. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When you start taking a step back to love on yourself and worry about yourself and fix yourself, this person ain't going away with easy. I feel like they going to come starting to woo you. They may start buying you flowers and doing like all kind of stuff. And it just be like, bro, what? Y'all see this big old rabbit on this card trying to get you to sleep with them. Trying to do any and everything to get you to give in to them in their good graces. They just want to take you for a joyride. That's it. That's it. You got to be strong enough to say no.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
And we got the Three of Swords again. I'm not making this up, y'all. I'm not making this up. Once you start focusing on giving yourself that energy, that kind of love. Thank you, Dominique, for my gift. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm telling y'all, the moment that you start to really focus on your own self-love and start tapping into yourself, you will start to see where you need to heal. You will start to see where you're hurting. You will start to see where you haven't been kind to yourself. That's why we got the self-love here. Right? How you gonna expect somebody else to love you when you're not loving yourself? And we talk about this all the time. Somebody help me understand, what does self-love exactly look like? Because if I ask you, what does self look like for you? Every one of y'all gonna put down a different answer in the chat. Because self-love looks different for everybody. But I would like to know, if I could package up what self-love looks like, what does that look like? I want y'all to answer that question. What does self-love look like for you? Now, put that in the chat. Ain't nobody judging you. It's 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Ain't nobody caring what you got to say. Say what you got to say, girl. Talk. Speak up. Okay? But once you start to really focus on how you haven't been kind to yourself and loving to yourself, I think you will be coming to the awareness that this person just wants to play with you. They just want to have sex with you. They're buying sex from you. That's what that is. It's fun. And you're going to come to that clarity. You're going to have that awareness. You're no longer going to be confused about what that looks like. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. And you're going to be like, oh, that's what that is? Like, it's going to all make sense. The reason why your life has been stuck, You're going to start seeing whether you have the plethora of minions on your phone that just want to see you for a good time, not a long time. And that's going to give you this renewal. That's what's going to put in you this spark of where it's like, I deserve better. I deserve better. I want better for myself. I want better from the people that surround me. I deserve better. I can't sit around and accept and tolerate half-baked relationships. I can't sit around here and tolerate and expose myself to relationships that aren't progressive, that lack direction, that lack vision. Ooh, I'm about to get on somebody's nerves with this one, but listen, ladies, listen. If you gotta ask a man what his goals and intentions are for you after he's been dealing with you for months and he hasn't brought it up, baby, he's not thinking about you in that way. I have heard it time and time again. When you talk to men know what they want from you from the time that they meet you. It don't take them a long time to know. Some of them know instantaneously. Some of them, they know a couple dates in, a couple conversations in. But for the most part, they know. It's only been one instance in my life where somebody was dealing with somebody for a couple of years and I heard them say one day they woke up and they was just like they wanted to be with that person. But for the most part, the consensus is they know. They know. So if you are having conversations with your man that you've been kicking it with for months and y'all over here doing what y'all do, and you got to ask them, so what are we? What are we doing? If you got to ask that question, you are not the one.
Damn you!
Okay, you are not it for them. They know what they want, and it doesn't take them long to figure it out.
Bombocat!
Okay? So if you've been dating somebody for months on end, and this person been dragging you along and has been ambiguous, see, people hide in a lack of clarity. They don't want to define nothing because if it's unclear, they can keep you guessing. They can keep you confused. They can keep you disillusioned. When you start putting labels on things, that forces people to have boundaries and to operate with integrity and respect. They don't want to give you that because they can hide in that space of disillusionment. They can hide in confusion. They can hide in ambiguity. They can hide in, gray areas. They can come and go as they please. Okay? But the moment that you tell them, I'm not finna be playing games with nobody. See, everybody say that. But we don't really mean it. A lot of times it's inactionable. So what I'm telling you is, when you start walking like the queen that you are, you're going to automatically repel peasants because they can't compete. A peasant would never come before the throne without feeling ashamed. Okay? So they're not going to do that because that affects their self-esteem. But when you coming around here, you trying to look like you a counterfeit. You look like a queen, but you carry yourself like a peasant. Everybody gonna walk up to you. You gonna catch all the strays. Okay? You gonna catch all the strays. But your self-esteem has got to be a little bit more pronounced than that. That's what I'm saying. And that's the part that you've been missing all this time. And that's where person A, you being very naive. You just jumping off and going after everything, taking risks and making bad choices because you're not thinking clearly. You're not thinking matter of factly. You're not thinking logically. You're just doing stuff just to be doing stuff. You know, you out here just fishing, hoping that anything could bite. And any and everything is biting. It just ain't gonna be what you want. Now, with that being said, I'm going to get out this business. Because I feel like we done said what we need to say. It's time for you to stop running. Stop running. Deal with those mental clouds. Deal with those things that you've been avoiding. It's time for you to deal with it. You can no longer put that off. All right? Spirit, what shadow work should Gemini, Libra, Aquarius be working on at this time? Anger. Use it as fire to transform, not to destroy. So this is about rage, frustration, and resentment. And we kind of spoke about that earlier. Okay, we kind of spoke about that earlier. What shadow work should Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn be working on at this time? Pride. True worth is measured by character, not by accolades. This is about, I told y'all this person is arrogant. I told y'all this person is arrogant, okay? This is about arrogance, vanity, and ego, okay? And I told y'all this person was coming in feeling very, very, very arrogant to me. And I wasn't wrong with that, okay? Now, isolation. In solitude's embrace, I found my own echo. I whisper to the shadows, my voice finds no fellow. So this is about both of y'all really need to take a step back, specifically person A more so than person B. Okay? Person A, you need to take a step back and to do your healing. I can't say that. I've been talking about it for so long. This whole reading, 2 hours, I've been talking about it. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to mature. It's time for you to grow up. This is out of control. Stop feeling like you're overwhelmed. Stop pressuring yourself to move on. Stop acting like you don't care and you're apathetic. You're not feeling any. You do care. When the lights go off and you're quiet at home in your bed at night and you by yourself, when you keep trying to block those mental clouds by doing edibles so you can go to sleep at night, it's because you don't want to avoid, you don't want to confront what's right there waiting for you. And either you're going to deal with your problems or your problems going to deal with you. And at this point, we have to deal with you phase. It definitely ain't easy, I'll tell you that. Nobody wants to admit that they don't have their stuff together. But the reality is most of us don't have it together. Don't nobody come here with a blueprint. Did you get a handbook when you came here? Did somebody tell you break this in case of emergency? Nobody has it all together. We just make it look that way. But nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. We all working through our skit in real time. But it is what it is. And it's time for you to realize that you got work to do. Just like anybody else, you got work to do. This is about resistance. You got Sparky D. This is about resistance. Stop resisting it. Stop fighting it. Stop acting like you don't have to do what you got to do. You know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. It don't feel good. But you do feel a whole lot better once you've processed those feelings and those emotions. So somebody on TikTok said, God is good working on me. When you say that, though, when you say, I just want to expand on this real quickly. Because I don't disagree that God works on us. But he also works through us. And he can't work on you without your consent. Once you take that first step of working on you, he'll meet you halfway. But I promise you, once you start doing the work, listen, he will start to bring up those feelings and those emotions, those things that you thought that you buried in the back of your mind, the things you tried to run from. Ooh, child, it start coming back to the surface. And he'll start walking you down those aisles, those paths, showing you exactly what happened and who did what and what your response was and what your feelings were. That's how you know God's working on you. But don't lie on God. And I'm not saying that you said this, but I'm saying I'm making a point. Don't go around here lying on God to my God's still working on me. And you ain't doing nothing. Don't be telling no lie on God. You know, you got a lot of people that walk around here be lying. God ain't through with me yet. Yeah, God been trying to work on you for the last up 10 years and you ain't consented yet. That's a conversation you don't want to have. All right. The Temple of the Black Obsidian. This is the dark healing chamber. Okay, Goddess Isis wants you to go to that dark healing chapter. Here it is again. This is about healing. Listen, I can't make this up. Person A, you got some work to do. You got some work to do. You got some work to do. You can't go around blaming other people for your failures, your misfires in life, because you are legitimately bringing this on yourself, okay? Now, does my life have room for more pleasure and play? In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the consciousness to life to experiencing a more creative, wild, playful side of you? Your sole action today will be, what would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking right now? Time to let go. Let go of anything you need to produce. Okay? Let go of any need to produce anything. Okay. So what this is saying is, with this, you need to work on the areas of your life that need that childlike energy again. Okay? Give attention to your inner child and start working on that healing from that part. And I know y'all probably like, what? I ain't got time to elaborate, okay? But what I'm going to tell you is, once you start giving attention to that inner child and start healing those feelings that come within from there, you will start to see the mature, the adult side of you, because the inner child in you knows that you're safe and that you are loved. You're healing yourself from the inside, okay? So now, with that being said, I'm going to get out of this business. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Pisces Tarot Experience. If you've enjoyed this reading, don't forget to subscribe and be a part of my growing community. You can always find me here on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer, and keep an eye for even more engaging content coming your way. Remember, this reading is here for you whenever you may need some guidance, so feel free to replay it at any time. I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts, so drop a comment in the section below and let me know what resonated with you. And if you've enjoyed today's session, go ahead and show me some love and give me a thumbs up. Now listen, y'all always be in my DMs, my text messages, and my emails. And I appreciate you coming forward. And I understand that these are very personal topics, so a lot of times y'all don't want to be public. but it really does help me with my channel and grow my channel by helping other people find messages that may be for them. So don't be selfish. I don't care if all you do is put a heart in the comment section. Put a comment in there. Just drop me a wink or something, you know, a bird, anything, okay? Now, if you would like to do a personal reading, remember spaces are limited, but I am booking only through my website at PiSeasTarot.com, so don't hesitate to reach out. I want to thank everyone who joined the conversation today, and a warm welcome to all of my subscribers. Most importantly, a shout out to the people who have gifted me and sent their super chats. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for those who even send cash apps to the tip jar. I appreciate that as well. Any donation that you give me is always appreciated, okay? Everyone, remember y'all, everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, be patient, and gentle with yourself as well as others. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. Remember, no matter where you go today, leave a little bit of love, and I will see you guys next time. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.